Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Spill the D. My name's Gina. I'm one of your hosts, joined here with my super handsome co-host, Ric. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good. I'm excited. We leave for Universal tomorrow morning.
Our time.
Right now. We are pre-recording this episode, so this is like we're already there and back by the time this episode airs, but the excitement is still fresh for me. So with that in mind, if you were listening to this episode, we pre-recorded like the meat of the episode, which is that
the topic of the episode.
The topic of the episode. You don't like the meat term?
Well, depending on the week, the news can be the meat.
It's true. So we pre-recorded the topic, which is our top Magic Kingdom rides.
Yes. And
the news we're gonna do when we get back, because we're gonna kind of squeeze that in, because currently while we're recording, D23 is happening. Mm-hmm. So Disney is announcing a lot. They've already announced so much cool stuff, and I'm so excited to talk about it when we get back. But for the time being, we are just going to go right into it. If you're watching on the YouTube, our outfits are about to change. And if you're listening, here's the news.
All right, everyone. Change of plans. We will not be going over the D23 news this week. We just had way too much fun these past few days with our friends from 407 and beyond. Gina has no voice, and she really wants to be able to talk with you guys about the information and the news that we got from D23. So all of that we will be going over next week. I'm sure a lot of you will already have that news, but next week you'll get our opinions, our takes, and what we're excited for from the news that we got from D23. Like I said, we just had too much fun this weekend with our friends from 407. If you don't already know, we are the official podcast of 407 and Beyond Vacation Company. They are a Disney and Universal Orlando travel agency. They book and plan family vacations to destinations such as Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, Disney Cruise Line, and so many other places. It doesn't cost anything extra to book with them, and their services are 100% free. This is a great deal, and you guys don't want to miss out on using them as a resource for your trip. If you would like to book a trip with them, head on over to www.407vacations.com and get your free quote today.
Okay, we are back to pre-Universal. Hey, it's past Ric and Gina.
We might look different than a few seconds ago. It's because we are different.
Because we haven't done Halloween Horror Nights yet.
We haven't. We had a little taste of what you're going to be like at Horror Nights today, though.
We went to a Halloween store, and I couldn't walk into the one room.
It's going to be fun.
So this is fun. You know what, though? I was texting Wyatt this morning, and he told me that he did it last night, and you can kind of see everything coming.
I don't think that'll help you.
I think you need your eyes open to see everything coming. Mine will not.
It also depends if he looked scared or not, because if you look scared while you're going, then...
Yeah, they're going for the girls to get the scream. They're not going for 6-foot-something guy walking through. Like, they're going for the girls. Ugh, we'll find out. Okay, but let's talk about our favorite rides in Magic Kingdom. This was actually the second episode that me and Sab ever did. Mm-hmm. This was one of the first things we ever did. The first episode has actually been deleted because it was a hot mess and there was an issue with it. So it was easier just to delete the audio. So this is the first episode that you can find on Spotify.
Yes.
Or on Apple Music or whatever you're listening, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening on. I went back. I was curious if my list had changed. Sort of.
I mean, at least one thing is gone.
Yeah, my number one was Splash Mountain at the time. So this is exciting. This is over 2 years later. We're going to hear what my list is, and then we're going to hear Ric's list for the first time. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to redo this episode and see how it changed. I have my top 5. Did you come up with like a bottom few?
Bottom 2 I did.
Bottom 2, okay. When we had done this with other parks, when me and Sab had done it, we ranked every single attraction. But Magic Kingdom has so many.
Yeah.
So we'll stick with just doing 5 and then bottom 2. Oh, it's such a cop-out on bottom 2. I know exactly what you said and what I'm going to say.
Do you?
I think I do. Maybe not.
I don't think so. I don't even remember what I said.
All right, cool. So let's do this then. Let's talk about our top 5 rides in Magic Kingdom, starting with number 5. What do you have?
Favorite.
Your 5th favorite ride.
Just to clarify this beforehand, you've been saying ride, but we did include attraction.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All attractions, so like shows that aren't like fireworks and stuff, basically things you have to wait in line for.
No parades. Anything that they press a button and it starts.
An example would be my 5th on the list, PhilharMagic.
I knew that's where you were going. I was like, so
I just wanted to make sure that people weren't like, PhilharMagic's not a ride. But we did agree to include those in it. And that's mine. That's your number 5. I thought it was going to be higher on your list. I'm not going to lie to you. I was thinking about making it higher on my list, but I decided against it.
Why?
Because I don't need to do it more than once.
That's fair.
I've done, like, everything else on my list at one of our trips. I've done and then been like, okay, I need to do this again before we leave.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, PhilharMagic, you're good with one.
PhilharMagic is like, I love doing it once while we're there, and then after that, I don't need to do it again.
And that's a must-do for you.
Yeah.
Like, we go, and it's when are we riding PhilharMagic? Yeah,
exactly. But I only need it once.
Or when are we seeing PhilharMagic?
That's why it's 5, because it's one of my favorite attractions, but I don't need to do it more than once.
Okay, and for anyone who hasn't been to Magic Kingdom yet, you're trying to prep right now. PhilharMagic is a show in Magic Kingdom, and it's a 4D show. So you wear the glasses, water shoots at you, you get the smells. It features, let's see if I can do this. Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Peter Pan, Coco, Mickey. It's Mickey's PhilharMagic. Donald Duck.
Lion King.
I pictured Lion King. I thought, what's the missing one?
I think you are. Well,
like the first thing.
They have Fantasia.
Yeah, because it's all about like Sorcerer Mickey's hat. I feel like I'm missing one.
I can't remember.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Yeah. So it has a lot of shows, and there's honestly maybe even more. I think there's a good chance that we did not just get all of them. Probably. So there's a lot that goes on in it. It's a really good show. It's one of my top places to go if I need a break while I'm in Magic Kingdom, because it's like a 15-ish minute show in the air conditioning.
The seats are comfortable.
It's nice, cushy seats. Close your eyes, take a break. It's nice.
Yeah.
One of the many spots to breastfeed in Magic Kingdom. Thank you to my sister-in-law for teaching me all of the places. Go on vacation with someone with an infant, you learn anywhere. Anywhere dark.
All right, what's your 5?
You're not going to see it coming.
No?
Nope.
Is it The Little Mermaid?
It's not. You're close, though. It's Winnie the Pooh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Reasoning.
So, I couldn't decide on if I couldn't pick a number 5. I was really, really struggling. Mm-hmm. It felt like it should have been easy, but I was so torn between so many. Like, my first 4, I got no issue. Mm-hmm. And I decided it's Winnie the Pooh because it's the most childish and ridiculous ride. It tells a story, it's cute, whatever. But I always want to do it. Like, if I have the chance to ride it, I want to ride it.
Interesting.
It kind of falls with yours where, like, I don't need to ride it more than once. But, like, I'm not upset if we do. There are plenty of times that I've been to Magic Kingdom where I didn't ride it that day. And when I think back and I'm like, I wish I would have rode that. It didn't make or break my day that I didn't ride it, but I wish I would have.
That's an interesting ride choice at 5.
So I was torn between that and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think I would have said Pirates.
So my logic was, this is a really weird logic. First of all, I had a feeling you were going to pick Pirates. So I was like, let me try and make our list a little bit different. But also, I don't know. I don't know why I picked it. Because now I'm questioning, I'm thinking I should have put Pirates. But I'm going to stick to my guns and go with Winnie the Pooh.
Okay. I mean,
I do like it.
I'm not upset about riding it, but I definitely don't feel like I need to.
See, I feel like it's a Fantasyland ride. I feel like I'm in Disney when I'm riding Winnie the Pooh. Like, I just get that magic Disney feeling because it's just so, like, old Disney.
You don't feel that way on Tron?
No. I don't. No. Because I was like, maybe the carousel. I was like, no, because I very rarely ride the carousel. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of something that made me feel like I was in Magic Kingdom.
Okay, that's fair.
And Winnie the Pooh makes me feel like I'm in Magic Kingdom. Pirates would have too, though. I am questioning my answer right now. I kind of feel like I should have put...
It's a tie.
It's a tie for number 5. I kind of feel like I should have put Pirates. But you know what? We're sticking...
5A and 5B.
Yeah, we're sticking to our guns, though. So we're going to stick with Winnie the Pooh. I swear I'm more confident on my next 4.
Okay.
I'm significantly more confident on
good.
those. I'm telling you, I was so turned around trying to figure out what my number 5 was. Uh-huh. But that's what we got. Winnie the Pooh. Okay. What's your number 4?
Number 4... I think is probably your number 1, if not close. For me, it's Space Ranger Spin.
Buzz Lightyear, baby!
Yeah.
Would it be higher if you were actually a galactic hero?
I am a galactic hero, so I have this sticker.
The sticker to prove it?
It's around here somewhere. But yeah, fun ride. I know it's high on your list, so we're going to be talking about it again. Mm-hmm. But again, it falls into the same thing as PhilharMagic. There are times that I'm like, I need to ride this more than once, but it's not every time.
Okay.
It depends on how the day's going.
Okay.
But I have decided that I would like to ride it more than once on multiple occasions, which is why it's higher than PhilharMagic.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I thought that was a good reasoning for why I put stuff places.
And you have been a galactic hero, are you sure?
I have.
Okay.
One time.
Last trip?
Not last trip.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was the one before.
I knew that. I just wanted to hear you say that you weren't a galactic hero last trip.
I don't think you were either.
Yes, I was.
I don't know about that.
I was a galactic hero. You can ask. I wrote it with Bobby, and he got really mad because I was a galactic hero before we left the first room. And he was like, I was telling him exactly where to shoot, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then I was like, literally like moving it so that it would be perfect for him, and he still didn't get it. He was so mad.
User error at that point.
Bobby, for the listeners, is my brother who is like, he is the video game kid. How like every family has like their video game kid. And that was him. If
the video game kid loses at a game, they're not happy.
No. Which, I think it was, like, not even a matter of winning or losing. It was, I should be able to do this. He was like, I can't find my laser. I was like, find a spot, find your laser, bring yourself back in. Like, I'm talking him down in Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. But yeah, and then the second time I wrote it with Bridget, and I was like...
She got it.
She got it, because I was coaching her on where to go. And I was like, I'm going to try and get it. I want to see how high I can score without hitting the ones that I know score high.
And what'd you get?
3-something, I think.
300?
Yeah, like 300,000, I think, or 200,000. I have a picture of it somewhere. I didn't do great. I was more worried about her getting Galactic Hero.
Because it was her first time at Disney.
Yeah, and then when she got it, then I was shooting other things.
Gotcha.
But I was like, wow, it's really hard when you don't know what to shoot at.
Shooting at random stuff.
Just shooting at the way people normally do this ride is really hard. For anyone who doesn't know, Galactic Hero is the top score that you could get on that ride. You max out
999,000.
And 999. You max out the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 4. It's a doozy. It is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
It's a good one.
At night.
At night.
Taking out the trash. At night. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in general would have made my list. This is so funny because this I know I talked about the last time we did this. That ride at night is just so much better. The line is shorter. The line is not as hot because the line is excruciatingly hot during the day.
It is.
Which actually lowers it on my list because I hate standing in that line. Even the Lightning Lane line. If it gets backed up at all, you're sweating.
Fair.
And honestly, I think if there wasn't a Lightning Lane for that ride, the longest the wait would ever be was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they can board people so quick
it does
on
go
that
very
ride.
Fast, yeah.
But I do love that ride. I love it at night. It's so good at night. If you happen to get on while the fireworks are going, if you can time it right.
You see them while you're on it.
Oh, it's so magical. You're in Disney. It's so nice.
This one actually is on my list as well, and it bumped up because of our last trip. Because when I rode the boat, I got to see other parts of it that I never saw before.
Yeah.
And that made me like it more.
Interesting. Yeah, you didn't ride it last trip.
I didn't.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is it number 3 on your list? Are we there?
We didn't get there yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was like,
no,
cool.
You're good.
Let's get right
I was
into
just
it.
sharing that little tidbit.
That little tidbit. Yeah, no, it is definitely. It's definitely my number 4. I'm excited to finally do the history of it ride.
Eventually.
Again, almost today, but it's a really confusing history, guys. Any article I read, any video I watch, everyone has a different logic on the history of this ride.
Can't find anything that is
There's nothing consistent.
Definite.
The only thing consistent is what Disney has said.
Yeah. About
the history of it. Which is not much, because they don't need to.
Yeah.
They give you, like, the story more than the history. I want the history.
Yeah.
There's nothing consistent. We're gonna make it happen. It's just gonna be more hours of research. The amount of hours I put. Okay, the amount of hours that I have put into studying Big Thunder Mountain were worth every second when we went and rode the ride, and I was standing in line, and I was looking around the queue, and I was like, oh my god, this story's here. It's such a hidden story, but I was like, it's all right here.
Yeah. Once you know it.
It's so cool once you know it. And I'm excited to share that. I just want to be able to kind of expand more on the history.
Be more confident in talking about the history.
In the past of it, not the present. The present, I'm like, yeah, we got it. We got the whole story. There's a flood.
I forget. Is Big Thunder the one that has the thing from...
Lancaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, because they went around and found, like, antique pieces to make it look authentic.
Yeah.
And one piece says Lancaster, PA.
I thought that was the one. Okay.
For anyone who's not from Pennsylvania, that is where the Amish live.
Yeah.
It's the Amish country. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Has one of the last... Oh, no, the Disney store closed, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or is it still there? There's one in Hershey, one in Lancaster, and one's open still and one's not.
I don't remember.
I think
we went there a few years ago.
Hershey closed, Lancaster's open. One of the last remaining Disney stores.
I don't know. We were there a few years ago, so I don't know if it's still open or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what those Bobs did. Could still be there.
Bobs.
Well, yeah, I don't know which Bob would have closed it, depending on the year. Bob Chapek or Bob Iger.
I was like, what? Bob?
Those Bobs.
Who's Bob?
Who's Bob?
Who's Bob?
All right, give me your number 3. We've officially beaten the dead horse of the fact that I love Big Thunder at Night.
Yeah. So my number 3 is your 5B. It's Pirates.
Okay, I knew it was going to be on your list. I thought it would be higher on your list, but I knew it would be there.
Like I said, Big Thunder jumped it this last trip because of the boat ride.
Okay.
Whatever that's called, I can't remember right now.
The one...
Liberty Square.
Yeah, the Liberty Square Riverboat.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay. Liberty Riverboat.
Yeah,
goes around Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, like seeing the back of the ride and like just like all the stuff that you can't see.
Wait, we're talking about Pirates right now. You're jumping to your number 2.
I am doing that.
Give me some Pirates.
Pirates. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think the Black Pearl is like top tier. And to think that the movie was based off of this ride just makes it better for me.
Makes it magical.
Makes it so magical.
So magical.
Also, when we were there at Not So Scary, and they had all the actors and stuff in it, that made me like, that was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite rides at Disney. You
would have loved it even more at the first time I went to Not So Scary. Because there was more actors.
Yeah,
I was so upset with the amount of actors when we went last year because I was like, this is not the same. Where are all the people?
Yeah. But going back to my original logic, I could ride this one multiple times a day every time we're there. I have no issues with that. And again, it's one of my favorite movies, so I love the story behind it. I like seeing all the I like seeing something new every time I'm in there too. Like especially in the scene with the town. Like I feel like I see something new every time there. And then there's always that little tiny sliver of hope that Jack Sparrow.
It's Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp. He did it one time in Disneyland.
Tiny sliver.
But every time I go to Disney World, I'm like, is that
Johnny Depp or is that animatronic?
That guy looks like he's about 20 years younger than Johnny Depp, but it could be him.
Also helps.
What, that he looks 20 years younger?
No. That there's a chance.
There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance.
Perfect. No, that's fair. What's the other one? There's another ride where I'm always like, what if it's the actor?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm always convinced someone's alive in Haunted Mansion.
Is it another one that someone did before? Where they went to the ride?
I don't know if they actually did it. I can't think of what ride it is.
It's a Small World?
Yes, I always think those little figures are actually real.
Those definitely come alive at night.
I don't think those ones do, but I have a feeling the ones in the Mexico Pavilion do. At the Donald Duck.
Why just them?
I don't know. They're built different.
The Three Caballeros.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the dolls in there come to life.
Mexico is a little bit like
they're into
Day
that
of the Dead kind of stuff, so maybe.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
The haunted dolls, I could so see it.
That's fair. I can see that. But anyway, back to Pirates.
My thing with Pirates that I really like about it is I like the fact that it's history. Like Walt touched this ride.
Fair.
He didn't touch the one in Magic Kingdom, but he touched this ride.
Yeah.
And to me, that's cool. I like Disney history, though.
Nerd stuff.
I like Disney nerd stuff. I really do. So that, to me, when I'm riding Pirates, I'm like, Walt touched this. It was very different when he touched it, but Walt touched this.
Also, our last trip when we got off the ride, I had a sword fight with Lily, so that kind of was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite rides.
You kind of filled it. Lily's 4, for noticing. And she was all for it.
She had a great time.
She thought she was so cool sword fighting with Uncle Rick.
So yeah.
All right, that's
Pirates
fair.
at 3.
Pirates at 3. I like it. Okay, bringing up on my number 3. Do you have a guess?
That's a tough one. Space?
It is Space Mountain. It is. Space Mountain is my number 3.
Wasn't sure if that would be 3 or 2 for you.
No, it's 3. I love a good roller coaster. I hate that you don't love this roller coaster because I want to ride it 1,000 times and I can't. I could leave you and go do it, but yeah. I enjoy our time together sometimes. So sometimes I just want to hang out, you know. So Space Mountain is my number 3. I think it's a really good roller coaster. It's not as fast as you would think it is, but the fact that it's dark makes it better, which is actually why Ric hates it.
I ride it at least once for you.
You do. You usually do. I love either the front seat or the back seat. Because I do think that they make a difference. Friends are just the coaster ever that I will say that. Usually I think the back seat's the best seat in any coaster. But the back seat does, you do, fly. Like, when it goes over the little bumps, you shoot up. If you want your back cracked, back seat of Space Mountain. And just let your body relax. Whole thing.
That was a good cracking noise.
It was, right? Except for the fact that I had to see my face on the screen when I did it. I'm going to be I'm going to put something over my face.
There's a clip.
There's the clip. But yeah, if you want your back cracked, back row Space Mountain, you get a real good one. I think it's so good. And the thing that really sells it for me of why I love it, Space Mountain during a Halloween party or a Christmas party.
Christmas music?
They use, I don't know if it's the actual music, but picture Space Mountain, except the lights are red and green instead of white. Mm-hmm. Like the stars.
Yeah.
To the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah, you told me about that before.
It's so good. Oh my gosh. And then Space Mountain for the Halloween party. Oh my gosh. They just turn off all the lights.
Yeah.
And they put this super intense music to it.
That was a little rough.
Oh, I loved it. It makes it feel like you're going to die at any turn. And that's the kind of horror I like.
Feeling like you're going to die?
On a roller coaster, yes. In a haunted house, no. It's so good. I love it. I am sure there are listeners right now. Half of them are like, Gina, you're insane. But the other half are like, yes, I get it. That adrenaline rush that I get on Space Mountain.
I wish I liked Space Mountain.
I love it so much.
I should like it. I like space. I like roller coasters.
I know. Again, on paper.
I don't like dark roller coasters.
Yeah, no, that does kind of kill it.
Darkest I'll go is Rock and Roller Coaster.
It's like neon lights. Is Tron too dark for you?
No, because it's outside for some of it, too.
Yeah.
And the lights in Tron are,
they're pretty bright. You can see.
The thing with Space Mountain is, they have the stars, but, you can't really see them.
No, it's meant to be dark.
Yeah.
You don't know what's coming next. Yeah. You don't know the twists and the turns. You can't brace yourself, which is why your back cracks. Just so good. Who needs a chiropractor? You got Space Mountain.
I understand why people like it. I just don't like it.
Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Sort of. I think it's good, but whatever. Give me your number 2.
My number 2 is Big Thunder Mountain.
Because the last time we were there and he rode the boat, he got to see it from all different sides, and now he just really loves it. What did you see that sold it for you?
It was just seeing it from a different angle. Because, we've been to Disney so many times now that I feel like I've seen all the angles I can see. Which I know I haven't. I know I haven't, but I feel like I have. In my head, I'm like, I have.
So when you get to see
seeing it from
new...
a different angle and, seeing it from the perspective... There's also... I've never not ridden it while we were there, so I've only seen the people from the line and seeing them from the boat also still having a good time. It was just cool. I just liked seeing
everyone looks happy.
Yeah. And like I said,
it's really cute.
It was just seeing a different angle, and I do like the ride. Why didn't I ride it last time? I don't think I was feeling good.
No, you got a concussion 2 weeks before we went, and your head was starting to hurt.
That's what it was.
So you didn't want to take the risk.
Fair.
Just fair.
So, yeah, usually I ride it every time, and I'm fine with riding it more than once, too.
Especially at night.
Yeah, at night is good.
All right. That's fair. I think you're really going to like when we go to Disneyland Paris.
I also like how there's just a random dinosaur.
There's a reason for that. That dinosaur's there for a reason.
I know, but when you don't know, it's just a random dinosaur.
But when you don't know, it's just random. Every time I ride it, it's my Disney Tourette's as I go, dinosaur! I have to say it every time. Yeah, no, there's a reason.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about
eventually.
it. Do you think that the listeners are getting excited? The people who come back week after week.
They're probably annoyed.
You think? Or do you think
why don't you just talk about it?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just man up, Gina. Come on. Just do it. Or they're like, the suspense is killing them. They're going to be so excited. It's going to be our least listened to episode of all time. We're finally going to put it out, and it's going to get no listens. Yeah. People are just going to protest.
It's going to crush, too. It's going to be great.
It's going to be the best episode we ever made, and nobody's going to know. No one will know. It'll be on the YouTube. That's where it's going to take off.
Love the YouTube.
Because by then we'll have a full new setup.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Keep an eye out for that on the YouTube. We got a new setup coming.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah. Actually, maybe by the time the news is up, we might have a full different setup in the middle of the episode.
That'd be really funny.
That would be very funny. Okay, so I think you're really going to love Disneyland Paris.
Why is that?
They put Big Thunder Mountain out on an island by itself, like Tom Sawyer Island.
That's cool.
So you can see it from different angles.
Do you go over the water?
I believe it starts on one side, and then I think you go under the water.
Ooh, that's
and you
fun.
come up on the island.
That's cool.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
I'm quoting you on that.
But when we get there, we'll be able to see. We're going to get there and you'll be like, we're not going under the water. Yeah, when we get there, you'll be able to see. But I'm not exactly positive. We got 9 months till we're there? 8 months? Check back. We'll find out.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. We'll find out. But yeah, I know it's on an island by itself, though. It's this whole thing. Because the whole thing with Disneyland Paris is that it's supposed to be beautiful. Because that's just what, like, the French culture likes.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things where they kind of changed the look of it and they put it on an island by itself.
Gotcha.
Really excited for it.
I'm excited, too, now.
Yeah. I think you're going to like it. All right, my number 2.
Let's hear it.
Do you have a guess? I don't want you to guess. My number 2 is Jungle Cruise.
That's a good one.
It is my sense of humor. It really is. I can't help but laugh. We get some of the best people. Last time we had a girl who I think had just started, and one of her friends was on the boat. Like, it was it was either one of her friends or it was a leadership team watching her. So she was so good. Like, she was putting on a show for that person. You could tell. Yeah. Because the person was already on there when we got on.
It was very, like, not that the normal skippers aren't enthusiastic, but she was, like, enthusiastic. Like, she looked like she was trying to get a raise.
It's like when your family visits you, so, like, you do extra good. Like, you know someone's in the audience when you're performing in a show. That kind of thing. And she was so good. We got off, and I was like, that was the best skipper we ever had. And the one lead goes, "You're fired." And I was like, that's so funny. I love it. Here. The ride is hilarious. The jokes, they hit every time. They really do. Even quote-unquote bad skipper is never bad. The jokes are still funny to me. The Jingle Cruise, the fact that they change it at Christmas time, I love Christmas. I look forward to the Jingle Cruise.
The Jingle Cruise is cool.
I like the whole thing. It's so funny. It's my cup of tea. And my hot take, my tip for the listeners, ride it at night.
Why's that?
So it's a ride that does not have a height requirement.
Okay.
So because of that, families can ride it. They can bring their babies on it, and they can go ride. Middle of the day, it's really crowded. Always. I don't think people know you can ride it at night. The whole ride is lit up. Everything has spotlights on it. There's lights on the boats. Everything's super lit up. So during the day, the line's insane. The line doesn't have air conditioning. It has fans.
Very warm.
So it gets really warm and it gets really crowded in there. It can go up to like 90 minutes sometimes. Yeah. Because again, families are trying to get on it. When you go at the end of the day when it's dark, it's almost always just a walk-on.
Yeah, or like maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's so quick. The line is nice and cool. And the skippers, like, they're just so good when they're not getting bombarded. Like, you're on an emptier boat. Like, they just enjoy it. Also, it's usually more adults. Not that their jokes become inappropriate at all, but they're like, I don't know. I feel like the delivery is different when there's not little kids. Yeah. Like, it's the same jokes, but it's just like...
It's definitely a little different.
Yeah, maybe that's when they make the boyfriend joke. The scare the hippos. You know, like... Yeah. So, I definitely recommend doing it at night. The line in general, that's enough for me to do it at night. Yeah. Especially if you go there, like, right after the fireworks. If the fireworks are at 9, but the park's open till 10, you could get on there and get off and still go on more rides before the night's over. It's a really good one to do at night. I don't think I rode it during the day in a really long time, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's been a while.
Wait,
Yeah. Because I'm not willing to wait the 60 to 90 minutes for it in the
too much
heat
other
when
stuff to do.
there's too much other stuff to do. There's so many other rides that you can wait in the air conditioning for that I'm not waiting out in the heat, and I'm just going to come back at night when there's no line.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love that ride. It's so good. Ooh, what's your number one? Is it Jungle Cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That would have been really funny.
I was like, you just really let me go off about it.
One more guess?
I'm trying to think what you haven't said already. It's not Seven Dwarfs.
Nope.
You already said Pirates. That's probably what I would have said. Pirates used to be your number one. I don't think you would pick Tron. Is it the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor?
No, that one's great, though. That's 5B.
Hold on. You don't like Dumbo. Is it the train that goes around the park?
No, that's good, though.
It's not the People Mover. Am I forgetting, like, a main ride right now?
Like a main one. People are definitely yelling at you right now.
You didn't count Splash, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint.
No. I don't want your hint. Oh, it's not Peter Pan, is it?
No.
Oh, Haunted Mansion! It's Haunted Mansion!
Yes. Wow, you were struggling with that.
I was! Whoa. Okay, wait. What was the hint gonna be?
There was a new movie that just came out.
Oh, I would have got that.
I
Okay.
know.
Haunted Mansion. Solid number one.
Yeah, I've grown to like it more and more every time we're there.
Okay.
And again, with the new movie that just came out, and there being like, I like the story that the ride has, and the new movie coming out is the ride, as opposed to the original one. So, like, I like that I can, like, kind of relate it like that now. And I just, like, enjoy the ride. Especially the part when you're going back into the graveyard, and it's really dark, and you can close your eyes for a second.
But then you miss the ghost.
You don't miss them.
But then the ghost will follow you home.
Yeah, they're just in your closed eye space, so.
Gotcha. Creepy. Okay.
And there's a dog on that ride.
There is a dog on that ride. There's a few dogs, isn't there?
No,
that might just be the one.
That's right there when you get into the graveyard.
Yeah, it might just be the one.
Yeah. It's a good one, though. I've just, like, enjoyed it, and again, I can ride it a million times and not really have an issue with it, and I like to ride it more than once.
Okay. It didn't make my list because I won't ride it alone.
Fair.
Like
I figured it was probably like 6 or 7 on your list.
It's definitely up there. I ride it once and I'm good. Like, I enjoy it, but I won't ride it alone because I'm scared.
I really like the queue, too. The queue for that ride is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. It's interactive enough, and it's just entertaining.
Yeah.
And once you're in, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So, I get that. It's a solid number one pick.
Yeah, I mean,
it really is. I'm really mad at myself for not realizing.
I feel like it's kind of mainstream. Like, there's probably, like, a lot of people that would say that it's their number one, but that's fine.
It's a cult classic ride.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of why there's a lot of people who would say it's their favorite, because it is. It's like, there's a large group of people who that is their ride.
Yeah.
You know what's really popular?
What?
Very big trend? A Haunted Mansion bathroom.
Really?
Like, theming your bathroom to the Haunted Mansion.
I haven't seen that anywhere.
Oh, I'll have to show you. There's so many online, because they sell the shower curtain. You can paint the walls different colors. There's a lot of decor that you can use. A lot of people theme their bathroom to the Haunted Mansion.
That'd be fun at Halloween.
See, but it's year-round.
Fair.
That's their way of getting, like, a Disney-esque theming. And
do they use the wallpaper?
So
that seems like a little much.
The shower curtain is the wallpaper. It's the purple wallpaper.
Okay.
That's the shower curtain. Although I'm sure they sell other shower curtains too.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you pictures. It's really cool.
I would want the candle down the hallway.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. I feel like I wouldn't mind it in, like, I don't know. You need a specific, like, we have one bathroom in our house. It can't be Haunted Mansion themed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If we had one in the basement, if we had a bathroom in the basement, I would say that.
Yeah, like, we're talking about putting a half bath in down there. So that could be Haunted Mansion theme. But I think a main thing is that you need is that shower curtain.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But
like, also, I would never use it unless someone else was down there with me because it's a Haunted Mansion theme.
But imagine the shower curtain and it's the hallway with the candle at the end, and the candle's like glow in the dark or something.
I'm not going to imagine that.
So when it's completely dark, it's just there.
That's spooky.
Super spooky.
It's
spooky season.
It is September.
We're going to Halloween Horror Nights literally tomorrow.
Yeah, that starts my spooky season.
Spooky season.
And then I'm going to come home, and spooky season's over.
No, it's not.
No, it's spooky season everywhere you go, so...
What's the first spooky season movie you're going to watch?
I mean, I already watched The Haunted Mansion. Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
Or Halloween Town. That's my kind of spooky.
Not spooky at all.
Okay, so my number one.
Let's hear it. What is it?
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Wow, I'm so surprised. I did not expect that.
It's funny because you were talking about how you put PhilharMagic at 5 because you only ride it once and you're good. And it made me realize that is I definitely picked the right one for number one. That's kind of
you ride it a million times.
I will literally just keep riding it over and over and over again. Like if there's nobody in line, I would go there before work and just ride it multiple times.
I feel more that way about the one in Hollywood Studios, Toy Story Mania, than I do of Space Ranger Spin. But at the same time, you did go on that ride a lot while you worked there, so I think there's a little bit of that nostalgic effect for you at this point.
That too. Definitely that too. Also, Toy Story Mania, my arm gets tired.
Yeah.
Like, I will keep going. If they let me keep going, I'm going to keep going. But...
It's exhausting.
Space Ranger Spin, you just hold that button down and pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. It's definitely a good one. Plus, you've gotten Galactic Hero a lot. So.
I have a nice collection of stickers. I started to just wear them. I put them on instantly. I was like, why am I collecting these? They're just going to sit there. I think there's one right here.
That's mine.
Sorry. I won't touch it.
I'm just saying it's mine.
It's my sticker.
Yeah. I just don't want you taking credit for it.
Sorry, sir.
No problem.
Got a nice collection. I don't need your sticker. Actually, I kept saying, I was like, they need a button. They need a Galactic Hero button.
They used to do buttons?
I only ever remember them doing stickers, but one of my roommates for Christmas when I lived there got me a Galactic Hero button, so I do have one. But yeah, I think that's always been stickers. You know how many buttons they'd have to give out a day?
A lot.
If they did that? You know how people just walk up like with a picture from online because they want it?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number one. I kind of already talked it up.
You already talked a lot about it.
Yeah,
I had it on my list.
I won't like harp on it, but it's a good ride. I 10 out of 10 recommend. There's no height requirement. Any kid can go on there. So wholesome.
So of your top 5, what are the top 2 you would recommend for a family? Let's say a family of 4.
Oh, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin and Jungle Cruise, my top 2.
Okay.
Both great family rides.
Okay.
Buzz Lightyear's fun if you have older kids too, because it becomes a competition. So that's really cool.
Gotcha.
And if you want to listen to Spill the Dean and get the hacks on how to win, you can cheat. And then we were like, who was I telling? I was telling somebody in our travel group the one day, like what to hit. And the people in front of us, before I started talking, were arguing. And they were, like jokingly arguing, like, I'm going to kick your butt, I'm going to win. And this mom was like, I'm winning. Like, she was in it to win it. And I start telling somebody where to aim for. And I watch her whole body, like, lean in. And she's listening. And I was like, I want to, like, tell her. Yeah. Like, I want to turn and, like, give her the directions. But I know that her whole family's going to be listening. And she's trying to, like, subtly hear where to aim to make sure she can win. I was like, this is funny. I was like, I've seen my future.
Fair.
So, yeah, I love that ride.
It's a good one.
It's a very good one.
So
what's your 2 if you're recommending for a family?
Definitely PhilharMagic. And probably, I would love to say Haunted Mansion, but it could be a little scary. Spooky. So I'll probably have to go Pirates.
Okay.
I think Pirates would be a good one. Because also Pirates, you can sit, your whole family, if you have a family of 4, you could sit all next to each other.
All go in a nice boat.
Yeah.
Be good to go.
So, I would have to say those 2.
Fair. That's a good one.
I agree.
I'm excited. What's your bottom 2?
Would you want the worst or the best?
Give me the best of the worst first, and then your least favorite ride last. Okay.
Best of the worst, It's a Small World.
Okay.
I do not like that ride.
You don't at all?
I don't like that ride.
What if the things came to life while you were in there? Would that make it better for you?
That would be different. I might enjoy it.
Okay.
The song gets stuck in your head all day. And half of the time I can't understand what they're saying because it's in a different language.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
The whole thing's in English because they wanted it in different languages, and then they realized how ridiculous it sounded to just hear all the languages going.
Is that where I got that from?
I think so.
The history of it?
It should.
For some reason, I feel like the last time I was on it, it was a different language.
Like 99% sure it's all in English.
Huh. We don't ride it, like, ever, so.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Because you hate it. You hate Space, but I make you go on that one. I don't make you go on Splash. I mean, on Splash. I don't make you go on... It's a Small World.
Yeah, it's like Peter Pan. If there's no wait and you really want to do it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to do Peter Pan, so...
No.
That's kind of the opposite. If it's a short wait, then...
If it's a short wait, I do it. Yeah, but, like, I hate how long that line is.
Yeah, so
that's... a good one for during the fireworks.
The best of the worst. What's the best of the worst for you?
Aladdin's magic carpets. The magic carpets of whatever they're called.
Why is that one not as good as Dumbo?
Okay. Don't get me started.
I feel like it's a good thing to think about because they're the same ride.
Yes, and I do think it's a good option if you don't want to wait in Dumbo's line.
Okay.
But I feel like you have to ride Dumbo. Like
it's
at
the
some
classic.
point in
it's
your
in the
life,
commercial.
Yes, if you are going to Disney World, you need to ride Dumbo.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hot take, not really that hot because I think most people would agree. Get your kids on Dumbo.
Yeah.
Yes. Magic carpets, it is the same ride mechanism as Dumbo. Mm-hmm. It just goes in circles.
Yep.
It leans, which Dumbo doesn't. It does lean forward and back. Mm-hmm. Here's what bugs me.
This is going to be so minute. I'm so excited. This is going to be something that doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter at all. Like, literally not in the slightest. The voice of Aladdin is not the voice of Aladdin. The guy that talks during it, and he does not sound close enough to the voice of Aladdin.
Okay. It
drives me bonkers. I'm like, really? We couldn't get Steve from Full House for one more thing? Come on.
Is that who voiced Aladdin?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yes. You're never going to unhear it. That's why the episode where they go to Disney, DJ keeps seeing Aladdin and thinking it's Steve. And then the one time it finally is.
I don't think I've seen that episode.
That's the best episode.
I watched a little bit of
Michelle is princess for the day.
I watched a little bit of Full House, not a lot.
I watched an insane amount of Full House growing up. Like, too much Full House. I don't know if there's such thing, but me and my sister, we watched a lot of Full House. Lot.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I really had a show like that.
Oh, it came on at night, right before George Lopez.
I probably saw more George Lopez.
But yeah, so it's not the right voice.
Okay.
And it drives me insane. And honestly, I like almost every ride in Magic Kingdom, so it was hard to pick a least favorite. So this was picked just because of that.
Yeah.
Like, this was picked because it just drives me crazy when I hear it. I'm like, this is not Aladdin. I enjoy the ride. I enjoy riding the ride. I think it is a good substitute for Dumbo. If you want that type of ride, but you don't want to wait in line for Dumbo, even though there are 2 Dumbos, so the line doesn't take too long, especially if you go early or late.
Yeah.
Dumbo, also a good one during the fireworks.
Yeah.
And Magic Carpets, honestly.
That's a commercial.
The other thing is that Magic Carpets, the line gets kind of long, and it has no business getting as long as it does.
Magic Carpets? It's just because of where it's at, I think.
I think so, too, because it gets so crowded in there.
Yeah.
That the line can take a while, so it doesn't need to take that long. But I love the camels.
The one that spits at you?
Yeah. Well, there was one that spits at you during the ride, too.
Oh, yeah.
So while you're on the ride, you'll get wet. Yeah. So I don't hate it. I just, if I had to pick a ride, that one bugs me because it's not Steve from Full House.
And it's not the worst of the worst.
No. What's the worst of the worst?
I think everybody already knows.
Can we say it at the same time? I think we have 2 different ones, actually.
No, we do have 2 different ones, but I've been vocal about how much I dislike this ride, so.
Okay, can I guess it?
Yeah.
Is yours Carousel of Progress?
Yes.
Okay.
Is yours Astro Orbiter?
No. Okay. I like the Astro Orbiter.
It's not good with two.
You need to ride it by yourself, completely by yourself. Do not put another adult in there with you.
That's why I didn't put it as the last one, because I think if we didn't try to cram into one, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
I've done it by myself, and it's fine. I like going that high up and seeing everything.
But yeah, worst of the worst for me, Carousel of Progress. It's just so boring. It's a nice nap, but the voice is just not it. There's only one scene that I don't absolutely hate, and it's the farm one, where they're like the farmhouse or whatever.
It's supposed to be the same house the whole time.
Yeah, but it looks like a farmhouse in the one, I think.
I have no idea. I'm trying to think of like what century you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's like the early 1900s or whatever. Anyway, I don't like that ride. I think it's one of the worst rides. And Hall of Presidents is also pretty close. Is that what yours is?
Mine's Hall of Presidents. I just need to say, for Carousel of Progress, that is a cult classic. That is people who love Disney love that ride.
Yeah, except for me.
If you are listening to this to get ideas and you haven't been to Disney and you're not a huge Disney person, like you haven't done a crazy amount of research, you haven't seen like the why people love it kind of thing, like you're probably going to be bored on this ride. You're probably not going to get it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that's been around forever. People love the song. People love the music. People love that it's a break. It's 22 minutes, I think, in the air conditioning. That part's nice.
That's another thing.
On comfy chairs.
That's another thing. My last two things on my list are both songs that get stuck in your head.
There's a great big beautiful
and never
tomorrow.
leave.
It's a small world.
It's a small world, and there's a great big beautiful tomorrow. Will be in my head all day long.
Even if you sleep through it?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Then it's in my dreams that night, and
There's
it's
a great
terrifying.
Big, beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. I want it to be in your head for tonight.
It's gonna
There's
be.
a great
for the
big,
rest of the night. You
beautiful
don't have to keep going. It's already there.
Tomorrow is just a dream
It's
away.
already in there.
That's exciting.
It's not leaving.
You're welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Mine's Hall of Presidents.
Also fair.
Not great. Don't really care for it. I know nothing about politics. I don't try to pretend I know anything about politics. I really don't.
From what I've heard, if you're a Trump fan, you're not going to like it because the statue doesn't look like Trump.
It kind of looks like Hillary Clinton. It really does. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm not a fan of the ride. Or the show. My dad loves it. My dad will go sit there and watch it multiple times in one day if he can.
Yeah.
It's a nice break in the air conditioning. The seats are comfortable. It's a good nap. The one time that I did it in recent years, I had to wait so long because I think I walked in right as the one before it was starting.
Yeah.
They have some pretty cool stuff in the queue area, like where you're waiting for it. It's actually besides the White House, one of the only other places where you'll see the seal, the presidential seal on the ground. Like it's a legit one that they have. It's the same one that's in the Oval Office. So like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff in there on the walls that's pretty cool. I do like history.
Yeah.
I just said history weird.
Yeah, you did.
Like stuttered on it. I do like history enough to appreciate it. Like I like when we go do like the historic stuff around Philly and things like that. So I appreciate it, but not the show itself.
If you're into history and politics, you might like it.
The show itself, I just get bored.
You like the history, but not the politics.
Which is really not politics. It really is more history.
Well, but at the same time, it is presidents.
Yeah.
Which is politics.
It's pretty cool. They put the president in there every time there's a new president.
Yeah.
Like they do. It's a cool concept. I'm just not interested. I think there's so many better things to do.
Yeah, 100%.
I have zero interest in it.
100%.
Yeah. The animatronics are very old style. Like it's not. Mm-hmm. It's great for its time.
Yeah.
It's past its prime though.
If it's your first time going, don't skip these rides just because we say we don't like them. Because there's plenty of people that love these rides.
It's a Small World. I definitely think you should do.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't like It's a Small World and Carousel of Progress. I would still recommend it to someone for their first time.
You literally picked two like cult classic rides.
Yeah,
to be like,
I would still say you have to ride them if it's your first time there. Mm-hmm. Hall of Presidents, maybe not.
You can skip that.
If you don't have time, don't make time for it. But like,
the thing is,
just because we're saying they're not our favorites, like, still try them because you might like them. The
thing is with Magic Kingdom is there is a lot of attractions, and you're not going to have time to do everything.
Yeah.
No matter how dead the park is, there's so much to do between these, the food, seeing the different shows that they have, like the castle shows and the fireworks, meeting the characters. Like, you physically can't do all of that.
Yeah.
You'd have to probably be the only people in the park. I really can't imagine a situation where you can walk onto every single thing. Maybe in the prime of COVID when there was nobody there.
Yeah.
But without running around like a mad person, like, you're most likely not doing every single thing. So if you're looking to cut things, like, yeah, the Hall of Presidents might be a good one if you have zero interest in presidents. Yeah. But if that's what you're into, do it.
Yeah.
Do it, man. There's plenty of stuff to skip, to cut out. Just prioritize what your must-dos are.
Yeah. For
everybody in your group. Hey, what's the thing, especially if you have a big group, what's the one thing you need to do on this trip to be happy?
Yeah.
And make sure that happens. Yep. What's one thing you can skip and will not care at all?
Yep.
We know ours.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, good list.
Good list. All right, but that's all we have. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are watching on the YouTube, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you for that.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube, make sure you're giving us some stars if you liked what you heard. We love those 5 stars. We love the reviews. And is that all I got?
I think so.
I think that's it. Oh, make sure you're following us on social media, too. We're at Spill the Tea Podcast on social media.
True. Hopefully you already are following us, because then you saw all of our Halloween Horror Night stuff.
Yes, all our adventures.
Gina leading us into houses.
And just Universal in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week's going to be a Universal episode. As Wyatt called it, Spill the Universal. Spill the U?
Spill the U.
Spill the U podcast. All right, but until next time, we will
see you at the castle.